one of the best luxuries you can have as a writer is to know who you're going to be writing for, who's going to be saying these lines, who's going to be building this character up and delivering it. And once you have somebody in mind, that can often really help you put the finishing touches to a character, or maybe get to the core of the character in a way that you couldn't before. And I'll just talk a bit about the three actors that I was lucky enough to get for this and how they contributed without perhaps even knowing it. So in the case of Jake, I'd worked with him before a couple of times, particularly on the last short film that I made, which Paul Brooking directed. And I knew that he was good with dialogue, good with sort of ironic or acerbic or skeptical kind of prodding type comments. He delivered them in a believable but quite comic way. He could really judge that. So I knew I could move into that space with the dialogue for that character. And the other character was perhaps a little less formed for a while, until I started to think about, okay, well, which female actors do I know in the roughly the right age range? And one of the ones that popped into my head that I'd recently worked with on a radio show was Anastasia. Okay, I was struck by how she could come across as very sincere, and so that really worked as, oh, that'd be a nice foil to the fact that he's skeptical. She is a believer. She does believe in sort of abstract things. She believes in love in a way that perhaps he doesn't quite, or struggles to express. Okay, so then you've got a nice contrast, and I think she did that really, really well. And some of the 3 or 4 of those lines were added after I knew she would be playing that part, because I knew she had delivered them exactly right. And then with James, well, he was there in my mind from quite an early point, in this, like, what's the relationship going to look like? Who do I know who would really sink into that idea of this disheveled, slightly, this character who's taking umbrage to not just look like another person in the room, but to have that sort of sense of a presence in the room, which I think he does really, really nicely. And then, of course, there's the fact that ginger hair part of that little bit of dialogue was there almost from the beginning, because I kind of had James in mind. And one of my main reasons, apart from the fact he did a really good job of the characterization of hoping that he would say yes, was that I wouldn't have to change the ginger bit, because that's perfect. The earlier you can start working with a particular actor, the better. And the thing is, even if that actor then for some reason doesn't end up doing it, because they drop out, they're unavailable, or whatever, it will often still have helped you develop that character in a way that another actor could also pick up on.